the first episode of the Toothless Tigers. We are at the start of 2024. We started a live start recently, simulated the 23 season, and now we're starting at the start of spring training for 2024. So I thought for this first episode I'd give you a rundown of what's happened to this point in the save. So firstly, what happened for your Detroit Tigers? Not expecting much from the 23 season in real life. Certainly not expecting much from what happened in the game. So we finished 65 and 97, fourth in the division. Overall, not that great. We had a couple of good performances out of players like Spencer Torkelson. He was not too bad. He improved from his previous season. They're really looking for him to push on, but overall, we were not a great baseball team, and as such, we have had to improve this season with a lot of injuries, obviously, in pitching. We've got Tariq Skubal, Casey Mize. They were all injured. Spencer Turnbull was injured for a while as well. What happened in the league? If we look at the league history, it was the Los Angeles Dodgers that beat the Tampa Bay Rays in 2023 in the World Series, coming from 2 games back and winning 4-2. In terms of the who won the awards, I know Kershaw won the Cy Young Award, and then I actually don't know how you can find them on here. Maybe someone can let me know. But yeah, we're now looking forward to the 2024 season. So I'll give you a quick look at our team. We'll look at specifically the 40-man because that's where most of our changes have come. So Casey Mize, Eduardo Rodriguez, Severino is a new addition this year. He signed a 4-year deal for $8.5 million each year with player option. We've got him under. Previous seasons, he wasn't great last year. He pitched the most innings he has done for 4 years there, which was a marked improvement because if anyone knows Severino, he's really struggled. Last 4 years, he's pitched barely over 240 innings for a guy who was elite for 2 years, to say the least. It's a real shame where we find ourselves with him, but hopefully he can bounce back in our rotation. Actually, probably going to be our ace this year. He's looking excellent from the stat wise. Let's hope he stays injured, doesn't get injured. Beyond that, yeah, we'll look here. We've got Wilmer Flores, one of the young pitchers in the Tigers farm, is pitching well in real life. He pitched very well in Toledo last year, 95.296 ERA. He's probably going to get, we'll see how he goes in spring training, but probably going to get a good shot at this year, breaking into rotation. Really look forward to him. Spencer Turnbull, we brought back on a 1-year, $3 million deal. He was not great for us in very limited games last year, but he's a solid veteran arm. We've got to keep him in. He can eat some innings depending on how well our season goes. Not expecting a huge amount. Other young pitching, we've got Reese Olson, wasn't amazing last year, but he's good enough to be in the bullpen, long relief option. We'll see if we have injuries, he could find his way into the rotation. And we've got people like Alex Faido, Jackson Job's up for just spring training. Looking more into the lineup now, Willie Calhoun was a guy we traded for last year from the Yankees. If I can find the trade, this screen is never very good. Just do it through here. We traded him along with Matt Crook and Melvin Correa, who we both picked both of them up, and we got rid of Matt Boyd. He was contract was running out. He's now actually with the Hanwha Eagles in the Korean Baseball Org. And Johnny Adams just non-starter really. Matt Crook was a all-right reliever, didn't have a great end of the season with us. He's back in for a year on the minimum, just to see eat innings. That's all he's there for, till we get some more out of our young players up. Melvin Correa was a bit of he had some decent stats, pitched pretty well, AA. We'll see what he can do. And then Willie Calhoun, very good year at AAA last year until he had 16 home runs, but had 6 OPS of 980. So he's probably going to be an option as a bat off the bench. We'll have to see how that goes. Looking through the lineup again, we've got Riley Green. He got injured last year, which was a shame. Only played 110 games. Was okay, OPS of 100. Looking for a much better year, and he's not white in real life. But there we go. Then we've got Spencer Torkelson, who we've talked about. Really hoping he's a guy I love in real life. He's playing really well at the moment. Really starting to turn the screw a bit in his career. So let's hope he can continue on in game. Nick Castellanos, he's obviously was a Tiger, but is now back with the Tigers. We traded him from the Phillies. We gave up Austin Meadows, a guy who's been on the IL quite a bit with anxiety in the Tigers. A guy I'm not really interested in at the moment. Don't think he's going to offer as much. We're paying him a lot. And we also gave up some other throw-in. Castellanos is on 20 million a year, but we are only paying 60% of that. We've got Phillies to eat a bit, and I think he's an excellent hitter. 52 doubles at the league last year, about 856 OPS. We really, really desperately needed an impact bat in the middle of the lineup, and that is what I hope we now have with Nick Castellanos. We go looking on Javi Baez, our shortstop. Really not a great hitter this anymore. 650 OPS, good defense. Drove in quite a few runs last year. Strikes out way too much. Can't hit a slider to save his life, but he plays good defense or defense. So yeah, he's on 25 million a year for the next 4 years. I don't know what we're going to do there if we can get rid of him. Hopefully, we will try. I think the best we can hope for is a good start to the year. Flip him at the deadline, eat some contract, maybe and get a good prospect back. Not fully sure on what we're doing there. We've got Andy Ibanez in second base. He played all right last year. Not someone long term I'm going to keep. We've got quite a few middle infielders coming up. If we look at here, we've got like Jace Young, who's very solid player. Going to probably start at double A or probably triple A actually. I'll get him to start at. We've got Colt Keith, a guy who played really well in real life and played pretty well at triple A last year. He's close to being ready for the bigs. Probably not yet. Someone Andre Lipsius, potentially someone who's ready, flipped about between majors and triple A last year. Even him is someone I'd prefer over Andy Ibanez. And if we keep going, we look at Kreidler's playing third again. Something I'm not a huge fan of. The players we mentioned, along with Peyton Graham's not a million miles away. It needs more tuning in the minor leagues, to say the least. Hopefully defensively can be an alright third baseman. Then we've got Parker Meadows currently playing centre field, but we've got quite a plethora of outfielders. He's yet to make his major league debut, but he was eligible for all 5, so he's now on the 40-man. But as you can see, we've got a lot of outfielders. We've got Matt Beerling I brought back. He had a decent year last year. Miguel Aparicio. It's a minor league signing. Potential to come up to the majors this year. Gilbert Dew had a good year down AAA. He's going to be fighting for a spot in the majors this year. Sean Bouchard, we got from Colorado. Again, had he actually didn't have that great year at AAA, but an option. Plays good defense. Decent bat. We've got Willie Calhoun, as we mentioned. Kerry Carpenter, good bat, not a great fielder. Had a 842 OPS last year in 93 games. Probably one of our better players last year. From an offensive side of view, we've got Riley Green. Justin Henry Manoy was a pretty early call-up. Mixed results. He kind of started off pretty cold, but kind of turned it around a bit, and then cooled off towards the end. But 54 games, maybe he can push on this year. And we also signed Jurickson Profar to a 1.8 mil? Yeah, 1.8 mil deal. He was all right with Colorado last year. Again, how much you want to take from a Colorado player's stats, I don't know, but someone who offers pretty good versatility. So we'll see how that transpires with him on the team. So that is a bit of a rundown of the team at the moment. I forgot about the catching situation. So Dylan Dinger played very well, AAA, mainly from a defense point of view. Very elite defender, which is what we like to see. We also have quite a few good options. We have Jake Rogers, who was, again, is a decent catcher, not a good power bat for them, hit 20 home runs last year. So probably one of our leaders, if not our leader in home runs. We have signed Austin Hedges on a minor league deal as an option. Again, everyone knows about Austin Hedges, great defender, can't hit. Jorge Alfaro can hit a bit better, still a decent defender. Again, signed him on a minor league deal. Josh Crouch, interesting guy. He's kind of a bit of a average across the board, but 13 home runs, AA last year, 809 OPS. Potential option from the farm. Mario Feliciano, again, another guy who's been around the Tigers for a very long time. Hit 340 at AA, 950 OPS. Not a very good defender. So we've got options across the board there. Now just a quick look at our prospects. So you may have seen this guy. He was our #1 overall pick last year in the draft. Chase Dollander, already looking really good. Got injured towards the end of last season. Tore his labrum, which was a shame. Again, he's not going to start in the majors this year, but I would not be surprised if we see him pretty soon. Played Lakeland. I might start him. Erie or Toledo, a bit unsure on where I want to start him. I have a tendency to rush prospects because I get too excited. So need to maybe put him at AA for a bit and see how he gets on there. He is only 22 after all. In terms of our other top prospects, if I look at it through here, see what OSA think. Jackson Jobe, again, another guy who's obviously in our team in real life. He was out with, I can't remember back. He was out for back stiffness. Yeah, he's damaged something in real life as well. So he's currently out, but he'll be starting at either AA or single A advanced. Again, needs to get some more innings under his belt before he gets anywhere near the bigs. Wilmer Flores is a guy we talked about, potential to be in the rotation this year. Certainly, at the very least, will be at AAA. Ty Madden, a guy who was at AAA last year, pitched well. Probably going to start AAA, but an option certainly to come up fairly soon. Brant Herter was a guy who I didn't know a huge amount about, but very good back to years in both AA and AAA. Again, someone who can come up pretty soon if we need the help at the major league level. Colt Keith, the guy we talked about, good bat. Jace Young, same. George Lombard Jr., a guy we drafted last year in the 4th round. Looks like he can be quite a good shortstop. Again, he is out of high school. Don't tend to like picking guys out of high school because they don't always fulfill their potential. Same as Justin Leganic. He was a pitcher we took out of high school. Potential to be quite good there. George Volko was another guy who we took in the 2nd round. I mean, looks amazing from a bat perspective, but very raw and is a good number of years away. There's also a guy we actually picked up in a trade with San Diego. We got rid of Matt Whistler and Vilkiel Hernandez for him and Aldo Leja. Matt Whistler had a good year for us last year, only in 25 innings, but across AAA and the bigs was good. So Padres wanted him. Kind of didn't want to give him up, but they offered me this guy, and he is more of a future. We don't need the relief help right now. We're not a good team, so I took that. And then Drew Bowser was another guy we picked up in the draft, a bit more advanced. He was in the supplementary round. We took him. He's on his way to being not far from the bigs, probably starting the AA this year. Again, he's profiling more as a first baseman, but we'll see what we can do playing him at 3rd. Doesn't need the arm is probably good enough for 3rd, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. And there is a few more guys down here. I think Pacheco's a guy who's a few years away, but looking good. Ross Dunn's a guy we picked up in the draft again. Someone who is potentially quite promising. So that is that for now. Preseason predictions, always interesting to have a look at. We can see what they say. I don't think they're going to offer as much. No, pretty similar year to last year, and no one on the top hitter or top pitching list. Looking at what our owner, Chris Illich, wants from us, wants to not suck completely, which I think's achievable. Improve the run scored, hence why we brought in guys like Nick Castellanos, and a few of the younger players hopefully will improve on last year, and that shouldn't be too difficult to achieve. We actually have a year on beyond that. It's 25. He wants us to do that, so it shouldn't be a problem. Acquired a player. We acquired Austin Hedges. I mean, he's a perennial goal golfer. I don't know why that's not complete. Increased attendance, that'll come with winning. Not much more I can do about it. Improving fan interest again, that will come with winning. Improve your international fines, that's not till 28. We signed a couple. We only signed one guy in the end, and I'll see if I can find him quickly. I don't think I will, but I know I can. Sorry, we did sign two in the end. So we signed this guy, Nettuno Altieri. Again, looks an elite Venezuelan Italian, but we need to wait. They don't always turn out like they're going to. And then this guy, Davidel Angel, the Dominican shortstop, again, looks amazing, but can't play defense. So we'll hold our breath on those. If we go back to the owner, and he wants to reach person 2028, which I think is more than achievable. I'd like to think we can be competitive by then. I'm hoping we can really turn and to be honest, hitting 500 this year would be quite an ambitious but potentially realistic goal. So that's something I'm aiming to do. So with that being said, that is your 2024 Tigers. I'm going to go through spring training now, and that will probably do it for this episode. And next episode we will begin opening day and play the first game and see who's made the roster. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.